I am Shelley Samone, and this is She's Arrived, where the fake it till you make it ends and the calling begins.
You have one unheard message. First unheard message.
Hey, it's Shelley. Hope you get this. Since I've been screening my calls, it's really got me paying attention to the difference between connection and alignment. Looking back on my journey of self-discovery, I realized I never got to a place where the two intersected. When I first set out on my journey, I moved to New York, where I met a lot of travelers, and this inspired me to take my first trip overseas. My journey has taken me places I'd never imagined, thanks to the connections that I made through my MFA program in Denver, Colorado. And while teaching English in Shanghai, I shared my travels throughout Asia with the expat community. That's when She's Arrived came to me, so each connection was important to discovering my calling. Shortly after I returned from Shanghai to the United States, my mom and I were driving through the west side of Chicago. My mom was born and raised in the community, so she's always in the area for one reason or another. This particular day, we were on our way to our family's church. As she was driving, I saw a new apartment development and said, "Oh, look, they named the building after Martin Luther King." My mom said, "Yeah, I used to live there." Like it was nothing. I was like, no way. How could I not know Martin Luther King lived in Chicago? My mom said, "'Cause you ain't from the west side." We laughed, but trust me, my mom is so over me talking about how being uprooted from the west side of Chicago at 5 years old still has me going through an identity crisis in my 40s. Listen, finding out the Reverend Dr. Martin Luther King Jr. lived on the west side of Chicago was like a slap in the face for me. I had been traveling the world, immersing myself in foreign countries and cultures. I had moved through a lot of different communities and knew very little about the richness of my own. My mom, she still owns the 2-story gravestone where she raised me for the first 5 years of my life. So I moved back to the west side and took a position in the community working in behavioral health. But I discovered real quick, you can be deeply connected to a place and at the same time, completely out of your element. During the first call of the second season, I discussed how I moved from the west side of Chicago to the South Loop in less than a year. And I continued to struggle to find ways to work in the community in a way that felt in alignment with my calling. Until recently. The other day while I was driving on my way to go swimming, a question came to me. Name 5 streets in K-Town. Now, K-Town is an area on the west side of Chicago. I felt like the west side was challenging me, like, how dare you come back to Chicago and claim territory? And I accepted that challenge by creating a community-based card game called You Ain't From the West Side. It's a 100-card deck of open-ended questions and fun facts I discovered about the west side of Chicago. But it's more than a trivia card game. It's the hand the west side of Chicago was dealt. It encourages a sense of pride in where we come from by providing topics that provoke the community to share their most nostalgic west side stories while honoring the richness of our history. The steps I'm taking to get the game into the community allows me to reconnect in a way that authentically aligns with who I am in my journey of self-discovery. So I'm not just playing to win. I'm playing for keeps.
End of messages. Check erased messages. Press 1-9.